Hey everyone, welcome to the M&R show. I'm Ron.
Now, Malcolm.
And today we will be discussing this Kyrie Irving fiasco that's been going on last year. I mean, it's been, just real trendy. We thought we should just touch on it, all the different stuff that's going into it. So, Mal.
Man, oh man, oh man. We are back to the Kyrie Irving fiasco and drama. It's crazy because, a lot of people have been talking a lot about Kyrie Irving. Now, let's first start off and think about his talent. Let's not get me wrong. Kyrie Irving is one of the best talents in the league. But as a leader, we have problems with Kyrie. As, in Boston, especially in Boston, what he's done in Boston, I always said that he's a very good player, but not a good leader for a young group of guys. If you think at what Kyrie Irving has done in Brooklyn, I think that right now it's not a problem because, they are winning right now. But once they lose, it's going to be a big problem where people's going to be like, well, you didn't really talk about it when, when there's a problem. When they was winning, now they're losing, there's going to be a problem. So guess what? We're talking about it right now. One thing we got to understand is Kyrie Irving is a good talent. We understand that on the Brooklyn Nets team, he isn't the leader on the team. We have Kevin Durant as in that who's able to do what he has to do. James Harden, who's able to lead when needs to be. Kyrie Irving is that player where you just keep him in his role and he scores and that's it. He can say what he has to say, but he's not the leader of the team. And I think that's just all we have to understand. And that's why I try to preach about Boston situation was that Kyrie just wasn't the perfect fit for us due to his leadership wise to a very young team, But yeah, that's why I think.
Yeah, I don't know about the Boston thing. I don't agree with that, man. They say fit, they say culture. They say James Harden was going to be a fit to the culture in Miami. And we see, so clearly that means nothing. If you're a top 10 player, you're a top 10 player. If you're a top 15 player, you're a top 15 player. I don't care who the heck you are. So tell you right now, the Lakers, they doing all this, they would take him today. So after all this thing happened, they would take him today. For anybody else in the team besides LeBron Anthony Davis, they would give up the whole team for just Kyrie Irving. So I feel like he's in a worse situation because, like you said, what you were supposed to do. There's no player in NBA history that's really done this. Maybe Dennis Rodman. But even Dennis wasn't a top 15 player. And he wasn't. Kyrie Irving is a top 15 player, I think, guaranteed. And offensively, he's probably really in the top 10 offensively. So he's just in a weird situation where he holds a lot of power. I mean, we could say he's not the leader, but the Brooklyn Nets really have no, Durant isn't a leader. I mean, Durant's never been a leader on any team he's ever been on. In OKC, he was not the leader of the team. He was a guy, he was the best player, but Westbrook was just as much of a leader as him. With Curry, clearly he wasn't leader of that team. It was really Curry or maybe even Draymond Green as leader of that team. This team, he's barely even played. He's not from here. So, I mean, once again, he's kind of in the Kawhi Leonard role where have you ever truly been a leader of a team? Or have you just been the best player? So he has too much power. So, but I mean, I'm not mad at him. He should have power, but he has a lot of power. He has a lot of leverage. What do you think about that? Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, I understand what you mean by leverage, but I mean, because of his contract. But if you think about it, Brooklyn did not want to bring Kyrie Irving by himself. He wanted to bring Kevin Durant in, and by bringing Kevin Durant in, they signed Kyrie to a contract because that's what Kevin Durant wanted. I think Kevin Durant holds all the cards to the puzzle right now. And for them to be able to deal with what Kyrie Irving has been doing, I think that, they had to listen to Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant wants Kyrie Irving, they have to listen to him, and I think that's just the point. But we all know, but I think everybody knows about Kyrie Irving's leadership skills and the things that he has done because I just think that's just the problem. What's going on, to be honest?
Yeah, I don't know if Kyrie's a leader though. I mean, he's probably a lead, maybe by example guy. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe he might lead people in other ways though, non-traditional ways. I think he maybe could lead people only because everyone knows he's with the Black Lives Matter thing, and then he's with the workers' rights. I should be able to take off. I want to take off. So I mean, he might be changing the league in that way. You never know. The young generation, he really might be a big factor. He want to play in the bubble because he wanted to do his activism and stuff like that. So he truly might be leading some people. We don't know. He maybe not the prototypical leader, but I mean, he could be the little Uzi of basketball. You're still a rapper, but you're so different than every other rapper in your lane, but you're still respected in your lane. I feel like he's really like a little Uzi of basketball. Like you can fit with everyone else, but you're so different than everyone else. He's really that type of player. Like I swear, he's really that type of player. So I don't know, really, he's hard to measure. Just like you say Uzi, because it's like your music is so different than everyone else, and Kyrie's play style and his leadership style and the way he's taken off. Like we say he missed 15 games this year.
Yeah, he missed 15
in a shortened season, and he hasn't actually really been injured for it. So like, I mean, he had some small things, but he hasn't like been injured. Also, he missed like at least 40 games last year. So you're fresh. Like this is basically he took a year off, basically, and you still missed 15 games. But so it's gonna be. I can't wait to see how many years he plays in the league. Though. That's my main thing.
See, the point about this is, I think, is the Nets' biggest problem is their chemistry headed into the playoffs. One thing you have to understand is they are the clearly and above the best team in the conference. But when they're playing against some teams like Milwaukee, who have been together for a while, Philly, who's their 2-star players have been playing for a couple years. I think once you get into the playoffs and, you have these problems, Philly and Milwaukee are able to go through things a lot more easier because they are used to each other. They play with each other. And I think with, the Brooklyn Nets, they haven't played with each other at all. And Kyrie Irving taking personal leave, James Harden, been injured, Kevin Durant has been injured. It's been hard for this team to play together. And when their team play together, I know their team can be good, but when you play against teams like Philly or Milwaukee, who's able to, play very hard against you, and would push come to shove, are they going to be able to work together to be able to win this championship? We'll see, though.
Yeah, the chemistry, I mean, they haven't played many games together, especially all three of them at the same time. I don't think it's even been 10 games. It hasn't been 10 games. I'm sure it hasn't been 10 games. Durant has missed basically 80% of the season. He's come back. We've seen that he's been a great scorer, but that's really been it as well. So when people also question that Harden pick, I mean, we see why now. No one on the team can play besides him. I mean, Kyrie's decent as a secondary playmaker, we know that. But if he has to do that all game, you're kind of lessening him as a player because he's such a good scorer as well. So, yeah, I just can't wait to see how this dynamic works out. But I also want to talk about, before we end this, I definitely want to talk about the media, though, with Kyrie. Especially we're going to start with Malc's boy, Stephen A. Smith. And he's not going to tell me that's not his boy because that is his boy. So, with Stephen A. Smith, first, let's start with it started. He said he should retire. That's the first thing. But he said he should retire. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a video on YouTube. He said he should retire. Then he said he might be in the MVP conversation. Now he's moved on today to, I mean, I don't know if the Nets can win it anymore because Kyrie. I'm like, bro, you've changed your tune. So first, Kyrie's done nothing. Has Kyrie surprised you though, Malcolm, with this move? Did it surprise you though?
As a Celtics fan, to be honest with you, it hasn't. It doesn't.
I don't think it surprised anyone else. So like, why is Stephen A. Smith acting like this is like, oh dang, Kyrie did it again? Duh. I think he might do it again after this. Like, this probably isn't the last time. Like, this should be expected. You expect people to be who they are, and this is what he's shown to be. So I just don't understand. Like, he's really the media has changed their tune so much on Kyrie that it's insane. What do you think about the media though?
And it's so irritating. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at me and since I'm a Celtics fan, we had a problem with Kyrie. But at the end of the day, I respect Kyrie for his game,
Yeah.
But when push comes to shove, understand this has been Kyrie, and I think that the media has been really twisting things around, messing things up to the fact that it looks bad on a guy like Kyrie. We all know who a player Kyrie is, and I think that's just one thing that we have to understand, that he's just not the leader that we all thought he could be or what he's learned. We've established that. But the fact that we keep on depicting of what Kyrie Irving continues doing when we know this is what he is, it's crazy. So with the Stephen A. Smith of him switching from one topic to another, I just think that's just not right, to be honest, because that's just degrading Kyrie even more. But the fact is, like, we should understand what Kyrie brings to the table. He brings talent to the table, but everything else, you won't have questions for. He just have a different state of mind where we all have to understand. Was it good for, for different places that he was in? Well, for Cleveland, it was fine because, you had LeBron. Now you get into Boston, that was a problem because he was the leader of the team. And at the end of the day, that wasn't the typical leader that Boston was looking for. So now he's in Brooklyn. He didn't have to worry about that much anymore. It should be, it's totally different. But media keeps on cracking at it, and I don't understand.
Yeah, the craziest last thing is that even Woj has like a tweet. I'm like, yo, this is getting kind of crazy though. I mean, I guess he's not usually. He doesn't really care about me. It's like he's not being nice to them. Like, he ain't trying to interview nobody. He not doing this. He's not doing that. They're not gonna like you. When they don't like you, they gonna kind of try to throw you under the bus. So basically, he's kind of just getting that under the bus type of treatment. T.O. kind of got the same thing in a different way, but the media was doing the same stuff to T.O. Like, I know everyone's when T.O. was up for the Hall of Fame. They're like, I mean, well, his personality, like that ever mattered. Like, people do drugs to make it to the Hall of Fame. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's kind of getting that T.O. treatment in that way of you're just not a media favorite. So they kind of gonna throw you under the bus. And I mean, that's wrong, but that's probably life too. It's like, you kind of make your boss mad. He gonna give you a promotion. So like, it's probably expected, but it's still kind of wrong, I think. That's my last thing.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely feel you. With that one.
All right, well, anything else before we end the segment?
No, I don't. Just understand that we all know who Kyrie is, and let Kyrie be Kyrie. He's not a leader. We understand that, but he's a very good talent, and Kyrie's Kyrie. So.
All right, well, tune into our last video, which is the fall of Justin Fields. A great video. I think everyone should tune in. So make sure you all look at that video. It probably will be at the end of this video in boxes. Malcolm.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And make sure y'all tune in to our, Instagram, Twitter at Malc and Ron Show, and be able to subscribe to our YouTube show. I appreciate you guys, and y'all guys have a great day.
All right.